All right, let's practice. 0, 1. So these are from the summer packet. The numbering is from the summer packet. So remember you were told to do these without a calculator. So make sure you are practicing them that way as well. So number 4 from the summer packet said negative 1/3 minus 4/3. Remember, I am modeling for you exactly what your work should look like. 1, you should be working in pencil because we all make mistakes. And 2, you should be working 1 step per line down the page. The more organized you are, the more successful you are at math typically. Okay, so remember for addition and subtraction, you need a common denominator. We have that common denominator of 3, so we'll leave that. And then negative 1 minus 4 is negative 5. Now, in upper level mathematics, that's what this is. Upper level math. We're not in third grade anymore. We leave what are called improper fractions. This is an improper fraction because the bigger number is on the top. That's how we leave it. We don't change it to mixed fractions like negative 1 and 2/3. That would be counted wrong. We only do that if we're talking about recipes, and we'll do that a couple times this entire year. Otherwise, leave your answer as improper fractions. The only requirement is that it's fully reduced. So no number goes into 5 and 3, so we're finished. So therefore, we box our answer and we move on. All right, number 3 from the summer packet. We need a common denominator because we're adding. Common denominator for 5 and 3, something that they both divide into, is 15. Okay, if you've ever struggled with it, here's all you're doing. You're asking yourself 5 times what would be 15? Well, 3. So you do the same thing on the top as you do on the bottom. So the top becomes 3. 3 times what would be 15? 5. So you've got to do the same thing on the top to give you 25. Now, just like the last problem, again, working down 1 step per line, you've got the common denominator of 15, which you leave alone. 3 plus 25 is 28. That's an improper fraction. Bigger numbers on top. I just need to reduce. Nothing goes into 28 and 15, and therefore, I will box it. Now, I'm going to go back and talk to you about a couple things format-wise. On this one, remember negatives, guys, have to go perfectly in the front of a fraction bar or on the top. I don't know about you, but I kind of find that to be tedious because it can't be in the bottom. So I just leave my answer with the negative in the top like you see this problem, negative 5/3. Second piece of notation, let's go to this one. I need you to break the habit of writing slashes. And slashes, by that I mean this. If you write 28/15, I want you to break that habit today. Okay, you need to have a nice horizontal fraction bar like that one. And here's the reason why. If you put an X in here, it's actually technically wrong depending on what you write. Most of us think that that would really mean 28 divided by 15 and X, versus most of us are really trying to say 28 over 15 times X. Multiplication and division are two totally different things. So to take care of that, let's just break that habit today. So no slashes. Make sure, please, that you always have a horizontal fraction bar. Okay. All right, we'll clean that up a little bit. Next problem. 1/4 minus 3/2. I prefer you actually turn off the video, try it yourself, and then come back. So if you would like to do that, go ahead. All right, let's see how you did. So now we're going to say common denominator is 4. Now, what if you think it's 8? I'll tell you, 8's a common denominator, so is 16. Any number that 4 and 2 go into are common denominators. You just want them to be as small as possible so you have less work to do reducing. But if you recognize it's 4, that's great. Obviously, this would be times 1 to get the 4. So same thing. It should make sense. It's going to stay 1/4. 2 times 2 will give you 4. So 3 times 2 will give you 6. Again, working 1 step at a time, working down, That means this is now going to be over 4. 1 minus 6 is negative 5. Nothing reduces. The negative's in the top. I have a horizontal fraction bar. Box it, and I'm finished. Next problem. Okay, the common denominator, something that 6 and 24 both go into, is 24. I always just check that number first. Now, remember, minus times minus, or minus minus, turns into plus, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. Since 24 is already the common denominator over here, the 23 will stay the same. This one, if you need to see it again, I'd have to multiply 6 by 4, so you can multiply 5 by 4. That'll give you 20 24ths. Again, one step per line will give you 43 24ths. Nothing goes into 43 and 24, so box it. And I am finished again. Okay, next. When we multiply and divide fractions, I just look for reducing. So cross-reducing means anything in the top with anything in the bottom can be reduced. Okay, so for instance, 5 goes into 5 once, 5 goes into 5 once. 3 and 9 can be reduced by 3. So 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. Okay. And then fractions, we multiply straight across. So negative 3 times 1 gives you negative 3 over 1 times 1 gives you 1. Now, do we ever leave a fraction or an answer that way? And the answer is no. It's not completely simplified. So negative 3 divided by 1 is negative 3. There's your final answer. All right, the next problem, number 5. Remember, for division of fractions, you want to turn it into multiplication. So using that correct mathematical language, you're going to say 1/6, and you're going to multiply by what's called the reciprocal. So rotating or flipping, some people call it, the 4/5, but it's really called a reciprocal. Again, we'll do our good habit of cross-reducing. 2 could go into 4 twice, and 2 could go into 6 3 times. So multiplying straight across, we would have 2/15. Nothing reduces into 2 and 15, so I box my answer, and I go on my merry way. Ooh, there's a little challenge. So how do I make 6 into a fraction? Well, you put it over 1. So now turn it into the multiplication, make it 3 halves, and you multiply by the reciprocal of 6 over 1, so 1/6. If we're doing the reducing, 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 6 twice, and now we've got 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 times 2 is 4, so 1/4. All right, order of operations, number 15 on here. All right, so this one will show us kind of several steps. You can't be lazy on these. You got to rewrite everything, okay? But remember, order of operations, when I see addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, you've just got to do PEMDAS, right, in order. So the first thing PEMDAS does is parentheses. All right, that means everything else just gets recopied. I go for the parentheses, and this 2 plus 6 turns into 8. Everything else just gets rewritten. Now that parentheses are gone, multiplication and division become before addition and subtraction. So you go left to right. So 12 plus 7 times 8 is 56. And if I'm just keeping with my pattern of just rewriting stuff, I just write the rest. Okay. All right, now I've got to do division before I do addition and subtraction. 56 divided by 8 is 7. And then I just recopy the minus 10. All right, let's see if I can clean that up a little bit. Okay. And now, left to right, addition and subtraction. You just go left to right is the order for them. So 12 plus 7 is 19 minus 10. And 19 minus 10 is 9. Notice I'm modeling for you exactly what your work should look like, 1 step per line, all the way down, nice, neat, organized. That'll help you be successful. And that answer would be 9. All right, number 20 on there. Okay, so the top and the bottom of the fraction we're just going to do separately, following those order of operations. And remember, I have to do parentheses and exponents first. So here we go. I'll make it 5 minus 11 plus 9. Minus and minus, right? That turns into plus 11. And the exponent, 4 squared is 16. Over, you got to do these in order, right? Because everything in the bottom is subtraction. So 13 minus 8 is 5. And I'll just write minus 10. So I'm just kind of doing 1 step at a time in the top and the bottom separately. Everything is addition and subtraction now on the top and the bottom. So I'll do 1 step at a time. 5 minus 11 is negative 6. Plus 9 plus 11 plus 16 over 5 minus 10 is negative 5. Okay, negative 6 plus 9. Now it's all addition, right? I can just go left to right and do it. So if you want to write a little less steps, you just kind of have to go through it on your calculator. Oh, sorry, we're doing no calculator. You're doing this in your head. Negative 6 plus 9 is 3, because it's the same as 9 minus 6. 3 plus 11 is 14, and 14 plus 16 is 30. If you're successful at doing it that way and you can skip a couple of steps, go for it. Now we know we can't leave negatives in the denominator. Okay, so we're just basically asking ourselves positive divided by negative is a negative. I can take care of that first. And then, once I do that, I'll say 30 divided by 5 is 6. Box my answer, and I'm finished. Okay. All right, your homework is worksheet 01, just 10 problems, due at the start of class tomorrow. Please practice showing all of your steps like I just modeled for you. And we will continue from there. You can let us know if you have any questions. All right, thank you. Good luck.